Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So it's part 2 of the Manta Ray build, and it's shell day. I'm looking forward to this one. So I'll put a link in the description for part 1, which was getting the DF01 chassis to this stage. I said it a lot in that video, but this is one of my favourite chassis. I just love the DF01, even in the Manta Ray sort of form with non-adjustable arms. It's an absolute bulletproof car. This is completely standard, apart from we've fitted a full bearing kit in it, but that's it. In that video I talked about big plans with it afterwards, but basically what I need to get it to is in a position to fit some electrics to it and get it running. The snow's here now, so I want to get it blasting in the snow and see if we can get some action pictures of it flicking up snow. And then we'll start doing some modifications to it. That's the plan. So, body shell. Now, as a majority of you guys will know, what would I say? I'm probably 97% always box art. I love box art. But there are 2 or 3, maybe 4 Tamiya cars that I don't like the colour of the box art on. The Manta Ray is one of them. For me, just personal preference, the Manta Ray should have been in white instead of silver. It's supposed to be PS12, but for me it should be PS1 white. So hence I'm going down that route, but there's a couple of other things we're going to do. Just on that, it's the same, or I feel the same about the Thunder Dragon. Again, that's a PS12 car silver. That looks way better in white in my opinion. And what others? And Subaru Brat. Although I love it, I just think the red's okay, but you paint it in different colour other than red and it looks better. Again, just my opinion. Just stick in the comments if you agree, or if you've got any other sort of cars in the Tamiya timeline that you think look better in a different colour. Still has the same decal, so it is still sort of the box art look, but it's a different colour. Yeah, stick in the comments, I'd be interested to read that. So, here's the thing. So if you know the Manta Ray, it's got quite a large canopy, and it's supposed to be painted black. Now, I've never been a lover of black canopies. I like to leave them as they are, but they can look a little, if you don't put a driver figure in, they can look a little bit bland. So I have got a driver figure for it. Now I've done a Manta Ray before with a driver figure fitted. It basically just used double-sided tape on top of the steering servo. You got to get the heights right, but it looks pretty cool. Now, the body to use is the Grasshopper Hornet Frog driver set. It comes with 2 bodies. So it has this one, the sort of, I don't know what you call it, but the other one that was designed for the Frog and the Hornet and the Grasshopper has steps. It's like that shape. That's the best one to use for this. It gives you a lot more height to start with, and it gives you 2 nice platforms to stick it down with. Unfortunately, I don't have one, and I think I threw about 3 of them away a couple of months ago. Idiot. Why I throw stuff out, I'll never know. But anyway, luckily I found this morning, so I can make this work. Don't want to put a screw through it into his head, because it just won't suit this shell. A big silver or black screw, it won't look good. So it does have to be taped down. Anyway, yeah, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So the true box art for the Manta Ray, the canopy is obviously here. It's all black all the way to the front. It runs down, but it does give you the option to cut across, not cut, but to mask across there. So it's just that bit of a canopy as opposed to that much. Now, because I'm going white, I'm thinking, you know, I won't know this until we start masking. Obviously I'm going to have to mask the canopy off, cut it across there, but I'm thinking of doing the front end black. So the car's going to be full white, that bit's going to be black, and then the canopy is going to be transparent with a driver in. I think it'll look pretty good. It has black air intake decals that go on, so there will be a little bit of black on it. Just looking at the decals if there's any more black in them, and there's not really. There's the number 3 numbers that go on the wing are black. So there's I think it'll work. I hope it'll work. I hope this is not one of these videos at the end of it. I kind of regret and wish I'd have just done PS Silver. So that's the plan for that. Now the Manta Ray wheels are not white, they're a very off-white, more grey than white, and that has some nice speed disc decals that go around it, make them look really good. Now, at a glance, they're a cross between grey and white, but I am wondering, once the shell's done, will I need to just blast the wheels over in white just so it matches the colour of the shell? So I'll have to figure that out before we put the wheel decals on, and that'll be a bit of a mission spraying them up. But I'm thinking, because it's going to be quite in your face, it's going to be really popping with a pure white. I think the wheels might need to be the same, but again, we won't know until the end. So we've got a fair bit of work to do. Obviously this is a Tamiya body, so a lot of the cutouts have been done for me. The lines are pretty straight. So the first port of call now is to get the shell and wing cut out. So let's get cracking. So just to show you what I mean, you can see the big outline of the canopy. But as I say, that would normally be all black, but the box art on the canopy straight lines here, it continues down here at the front end, so that's all black. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sort of do a little bit of fancy masking there. But anyway, let's get so we've got the shell and we've got the wing to cut out. Relatively easy, it's all kind of straight. So anyway, let's get on with it. Right, that's pretty much a car body and wing cut out. Reasonably straightforward. I'll give it a rough sanding, but as always I'll do that more when it's painted. I just find that easy, you can see it better. I'm not going to mount anything. The shell's pre-drilled, so that fits on, and the wing is pre-drilled, but you get the idea of how that sits like that. So yeah, I'm reasonably happy with that. That's not taken too long. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get some hot soapy water and just clean these off, and then when we come back, we'll once it's dry, we'll have to start the masking process. Right, so that's half an hour of masking just to get this little front unit in black. I've not touched the main canopy. My idea is, as I say, spray this in, what's black? Is it PS5? Yeah, PS5. We'll let that harden and then we'll take that off, because that's the only other colour that's going on it. And then if the lines are okay, then it's just a case of take that masking off, that bit'll be done, and then just go up and do the rest of the canopy from the inside, mask that off, and then just blast it over in white. But it'll depend how those lines are. That's not much of a good giveaway, you can't tell, but you get the gist of it, what I'm doing in black. I'm a little bit concerned about this one, if I'm honest. There's a decal, it's hard to show you on here. Probably you can see that's the distance the black's going on. There's a blue and white decal that goes round the line anyway, from right round the front to about there. So even if the lines are not great, that bit's covered with a decal, but these little two lines on either side will be shown. So if the line's not good, it will be seen, but we could always use line tape if needs be to tidy that up. But anyway, let's get some black on it. Right, we've got a couple of coats of black on, just drying out. I'm looking at the outside at masking. I think I'm going to have some serious issues with bleed. I've done the driver's helmet and his body as well, which I don't want it too white, if that makes sense, but I've got some fancy detail to go on it. But yeah, we're a million miles off that, so let's get this masking off and see how bad it is. Right, it wasn't the best. I had to get the polycarbonate cleaner out and a cotton bud just to take some areas off. I had a lot of leakage. I used the white Tamiya curve masking tape, and it was in the same places every time where the masking crossed over each other, not on the actual like one strip. That's a tight seal, but if I put a piece over it, yeah, it didn't seal properly, so I'll have to remember that for the future. But it was just a little bit too tight to get it done in one piece. Anyway, as I say, once it's finished, we can use So this section here has a decal that goes around it, so there's no concern at all with that. It's just this little area here, because obviously all that's going to be white and this is staying transparent. So anyway, next up, dig the masking tape back out, and I need to do the canopy now. Mask that off. So let's get cracking with that. So this is that Tamiya curved masking tape. It's really good. There's a technique to using it, and you kind of just got to learn it yourself as you go. But yeah, it's so much easier than normal masking tape or the process I used to use. So I've put a line just round the inside of the canopy now. But that's all one piece from one side of the black all the way along and around and back down. And it seems to get a really good seal. I'll probably regret saying that now. Anyway, what I'll do now is I'll get the normal Tamiya masking tape on the inside of it and we'll get that masked off. Right, masking's on. As you can see, yeah, I don't know about how good the lines are going to be. Well, I don't know why I bother fretting at this stage, because we can always fix it. So yeah, all white now. So I'll get a couple of coats on and I'll come back when I've put the last coat on. Right, so we've got the paint on. I've given it 2 coats, but I'll probably do another 2 at least. But might as well start on the driver figure now. So I've given that a very light dusted in PS white. I've done the helmet sort of properly. Unfortunately, the only helmet I had has got the top hole in. But I'm wondering if I've got a decal or something, or even a black stripe. I'll try cover that up somehow. I did mask his face off roughly, so we'll take that off now and we'll get the flesh colour on. Right, we're getting there a little bit now. So, paint's now hardened. I've not taken the protective film off yet, but I thought I'd just show you at this stage very quickly. That's the sort of driver unit I've just done. It's okay, at least his eyes are straight for once. I would like to get some kind of decaling on his helmet, but we'll kind of have a look at that at the end. So I've got to take protective film off, and that's kind of how the shell's looking. So fingers crossed. So yeah, next job, we'll get the masking out and then we'll take the film off and have a look then. Boom! They've come out really well. Very, very, very happy. Obviously the wing's basic, but yeah, I took my time so I could get into the wing sides, and they look great. And yeah, I'm reasonably happy with that black. The lines are decent. There's the only blemish really is right across there if you look closely, which I could fix with line tape. But obviously we'll wait to see. Yeah, I'm really liking the look of that. That's again, I love it in white. So I think next up is, what's next? I think we'll get the decals on it. Right, starting to take shape. So the wing's done. There's only 3 decals. I've got to put the holes through those decals yet, and numbers either side. But I like it. I was a bit worried because the numbers had a white border around it, and I thought if that stands out it's not going to look the best, but from a little bit of a distance it's fine. So I've put the air intake black bits in, and obviously as you can see this front bit, RPM and the UV protected, that's supposed to go further up, but of course that's supposed to be black, so I've just moved it down slightly. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's looking pretty sharp. So I've got all the decals cut out, so I'll just carry on. I just thought I'd jump back on because I just kind of, you might have cringed when I said I'm not going PS12 silver at the beginning, but this is why it looks better in white. Those silver decals are completely lost on a box art Manta Ray, and I feel that the main ones are as well, but against a white background it really does pop. I'd be interested to see what you think in comments. Obviously you might want to see it finished, not at this stage, but I just think already at this stage you can see why it's worthwhile doing it in white. Boom, decals are on. I've got to say, I just think that looks epic. I really do. It's just so much better than the silver, in my opinion. So completely box art decals, apart from I put obviously the Tamiya logo down here, and I put that red Tamiya there. That probably was a cutout for the resistor for the original, I'm guessing. Yeah, definitely will have been. But yeah, I absolutely love it. So it's getting a bit late tonight, so I'll just stick it on the car and show you it mounted. But then in the morning we're going to start messing around with the driver figure. Let's have a look, see if we can just hold him and get a rough idea. Don't know how far on the canopy it's going to go. It kind of wants to go as far back as it can, so it stays higher. But anyway, that's a tomorrow job. And also the wheels. I don't think. Anyway, let's bang these on, and then I think you'll see the wheels are not going to work in that grey colour. But I'm not planning on using that wheel and tyre set. So yeah, stay tuned. Right, starting to take shape now. Yeah, I'm liking that, but obviously, as I say, the wheels don't go. If I blasted them over in a couple of coats of white, and then there's the was it speed disc decals, they go on 2 on each wheel. That really does actually bring those particular wheels to life. But yeah, I didn't think the wheels would go, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm really liking that. It is sat way too high, so we have got quite a bit of fettling to do in the morning. And I'd like to get more angle on the wing. I've always had a beef with the Manta Ray wing. I don't think it's angled enough. For me, it should be following these 2 lines, and it kind of, those 2 lines go up and then it sinks over. So yeah, I've never been a massive fan of that, but I'm wondering if I can put some tape underneath right at the back, just to raise the wing up slightly, give it more angle. But yeah, that's not a bad day's work, to be fair. So plan for tomorrow is we'll have to put a steering servo in, and then we'll mount the driver. We'll have to figure out a way of mounting that driver onto top of the servo and getting it in position correctly, and that'll make the car look way better. Change the wheels and tyres over, angle the wing, and then concentrate on the stance of the car. I don't want it this high. The first thing we'll do is we'll just whiz the all 4 shock collars off, and that's going to give us 5-6 mil extra. I've also got one more adjustment on the arms, so if I move is it in alright? Yeah, if I move all the shocks out one position, take the collars off, I kind of think the stance will be pretty much cock on for how I want it. So anyway, yeah, let's I'm gonna finish now, but obviously I'll be right back as far as you guys are concerned. Right, so I've done a little bit more work on it in the morning, but I was up way early, so I just started work and I couldn't really put it on camera, but we'll go over what I've done. Very basic. So the first thing I did, as I said, I wanted to get more angle on the wing. Never happy with how the body goes up and then the wing kind of fell off. So just 2 pieces of tape on the wing mount, and it'll just increase it slightly. It's something you wouldn't notice if you didn't know it was there, but hopefully when we put it all together you'll see the difference it makes. Driver unit's in. Now it's a little bit crude at the moment, see if I can zoom in a little bit. All I've used is double-sided sticky tape and 2 large pieces of foam. Obviously sat on top of the steering servo. Let me just move that back. That's at the correct height now and the right distance. It's a big old canopy on the Manta Ray, so the driver is a little bit lost, but nevertheless I think it looks great. And the benefit or the beauty of this is this driver doesn't hamper anything else in the car. I tend to not run these with this tray in. No particular reason why, I usually just take it out. And I've no idea why I'm telling you that. I've just gone completely off point. And the last thing we took the shock collars off, the black shock collars. I've not made any adjustment on the arms yet because I just thought what we'll do is we'll whiz all 4 collars off and then we'll see what the stance of the car is. So that's that bit. Right, the shell. I'm really happy with this shell, I've got to say. So since you last seen it, I've added just a little bit more detail on it. Now, my lines from the white to the transparent were really crisp, but I thought I'll use the black line tape just to seal it, and I'm really glad I have. It's I just think it looks better. I also think the shell just needed a little bit more black on it, and you'll see why when we put it together. But yeah, I'm loving that. What I also did, I used the line tape just to go around that back end. I've gone around the back with it, but I really like that as well. And then the final thing I did, I got the black paint pen out because it has two grills here, and I just outlined them. I was tempted to, I was going to actually colour them both in, but yeah, decided not to, and I'm really happy with that as well. So yeah, that's the shell, and then onto the wing. And what I did there was I just used a line tape on each top of the wing, gone all the way around, tucked it in underneath. But I think when it's together, those new black lines will add a lot more detail to it. And just the wing on its own, I'm liking it already with that black on the top. It's a little bit different. So that's the stuff I've done. Now let's talk about wheels. Right, so completely made my mind up, not going with the kit wheels. I think if I was going to, then you would have to blast them over with a couple of coats of PS1 white. It looks silly with the sort of white car, and then the it's like a grey colour, isn't it? And even if I don't want to waste the the speed disc decals by putting them on, because I think maybe at some point I might blast them over just to see how it looks, because these kind of wheels are free now. Now my wheel and tyre set of choice going on this car is the egress, and that's basically, this wasn't really planned, but yeah, I have a full set spare, and the new. Interesting fact, I know, or I've seen on the groups, that a lot of people think that the Manta Ray, I'll just line these up, and egress are the same tyre, and as you can see, they are quite pretty different. The egress has the tread pattern 4 and a 3, and then so on, where the Manta Ray tyre is staggered. That's the Avanti 2001 tyre. That's possibly the first car it came on, but I may be wrong. Why would you say that when it came on the Manta Ray? Idiot. Anyway, and as you can see, another interesting thing is the size difference. See if I can put those together. See the size difference. It's quite a lot, isn't it? You wouldn't expect that. Anyway, so as I said, that's a wheel and tyre set of choice. So I think now it's time to start putting it together, and cross my fingers that this is going to work. Right, that's the wing on, and as I said, if you didn't know that was raised up at the back slightly, you probably just wouldn't tell. But it just gives it that extra bit of kick, and I mean that's what a wing is supposed to look like, in my opinion. So yeah, happy with that. Boom, that's looking sweet. So I hope you can see now, especially because I've exaggerated the lines with the black detail tape. That wing sweeps up a lot more, and I honestly do think that detailing really does work. It's so simple, but it kind of just breaks the car up. Driver is okay. It's a big old canopy, isn't it? I'm just thinking if you could fit something possibly like the Avanti driver cockpit in there, so it really fills it up. I'm not sure you could, and I'm not going to take one out my Avanti to check. But yeah, I'm really liking that. Right, let's bang the wheels on. This is the moment of truth. Well guys, what do you think? I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I'm going to. I think I've nailed that. And I don't often say that when I do stuff like this. Generally, I think cars are okay, and they kind of grow me afterwards. But that straight out the box, after building it, I just think that looks absolutely epic. Everything works on that for me. I think the stance is perfect as well, and the bonus is I haven't had to put internal spacers in, so it's just a case when I run it to put the shock collars back on, and it's ready to go. I am absolutely loving that. I'll be interested in comments if anyone thinks that's not better than box art, because I think it's way better. And then just to give you some idea of the stance and how it's sitting, so there's still a good, it's probably an inch of clearance, and it's when it's sat like that. And obviously, as I said earlier, we can increase that dead easily. But yeah, the only thing letting it down slightly when it sits this low, because it's got fixed upper arms, the the camber goes out on the wheels. But eventually, when we got stage 2 of this and we put the turnbuckle set on, we can then align all the wheels up correctly. And then a low down angle from the front. During this build, I was thinking, as I started to put it together, that I was 100% going to, on stage 2, take the yellow CVAs off and put the black top force CVAs on. But looking at that car now, it needs the yellow because it goes with the couple of decals with a little bit of yellow in them. So I don't think I'd go away from the yellow shocks. I think the blue wheel nuts work. I think they look better than silver. Again, it's just a contrast thing. And then just a quick look from the top, where you get a little bit more of the sort of detail and the overall look like that. But yeah, I've got to be happy with that. And then I thought I'd just do that so you could sort of see the box art example behind it. What do you think, guys? I'll be interested to know what the Tamiya purists think of this, because I'm not one, although I'm probably 95% a box art man. But I have got the ability to sort of realise that some cars didn't look the best in box art, and you can make them slightly better. But I'd be interested for a sort of an argument against that, well, like the silver's better. But again, this hobby's all about opinions, isn't it? So I'm calling that one done. I've got to be honest, and I don't say this very often when I've just finished something. I love that. As I said at the beginning of maybe this video, certainly the chassis build video, I bought this kit because I wanted a top force, and then I got a top force, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with this, because the box art Manta Ray didn't really do it for me. I've said a few times, in the Tamiya first 100, obviously the Manta Ray was in it, and I always wished they'd done the dirt thrasher first and the Manta Ray outside the first 100, because I thought I do think the dirt thrasher looks way better than the Manta Ray. But now I've put this together, I absolutely love it, and I love it that much that even before I started it, I was thinking, what am I going to do with it? And as I said, I was contemplating going down the Terra Conqueror route, reproduction shell, wing, new wheels, tyres and all that stuff. But no, 100% I like this. So stage 2 is going to be very simple. It's going to be, once the top force bits become free, it'll be the FRP front and back shock towers, full turnbuckle set, and the top force prop shaft and cups. Boom, finished. Absolutely love it. So guys, stick in the comments what you think. I'm really interested on this one. So I'll end this video here. Thanks so much for watching, it's really much appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. And if you do that, smash that notification buzzer for our weekly videos. And as always guys, happy arseeing.